Alright, let's draw Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Start with your page horizontal and start towards the top right hand corner. Draw an oval on its side that's open on the top and connect it with a half circle. Next, two horizontal lines that are curved down. Now two lines inside that are slanted down towards each other in the middle, and then half circle off the bottom of both like lemon wedges, and then draw some lines in between them. Now a line moving left to right that curves up a little, down a lot, and then up and back down on the other side. Now let's draw the tie parts of his mask waving in the wind with some parallel lines that end at a point coming out of the left side of the head. Next, we're going to draw his arm, which is a short curved line angling up towards the top left-hand corner of the page, and now a curved line below that sort of mirrors it. Then a little V in here, and same thing again, parentheses that are angling up towards the top left-hand corner of the page. Then a little wide V up in here for his elbow. So at the elbow point, the arm is going to start bending down. So our next two lines will be drawn down at an angle a little bit. To draw a forearm, both sides kind of start in a parentheses, but then straighten out towards the wrist. Next, you're just going to draw a box with rounded corners that's slightly at an angle. This next shape's kind of hard, but start on the bottom line of that hand, come out wider than the hand on the left, curve it around, and then curve it out to a point. Now just come back, swoop it around to parallel the hand, and do that same shape on the right to a point, and then curve it back. Now a long skinny V for the blade, and a little square on top for the handle. Now we're going to add his shell that starts at about the elbow, and is going to be drawn up to the top of the head. Curve it down a little bit, and then follow that curve till it hits the back of the head. Now start just outside of the end of that line, and draw a curve going the other way up to his shoulder, and then round that line out on the end and parallel it, and then finish it off if you have room in between his shoulder and his head. Next, start underneath his right cheek with a line that's drawn straight down, then it angles in, stops just below the shell on the left, then the end of it is rounded and then curved up to hit the shell on the left. Add an oval butted up against the right side, about a third of the way from the bottom, and then these two curved parallel lines that disappear behind the arm. Now fill all that in, add an R inside the oval, and then let's add the shell detail. A line that goes from the bottom of the head, follows your line on the right, and then comes out of the bottom like this to the point. Now add a horizontal line that curves up. Now add these little V's and fill them in wherever those lines hit the edge of the shell, and then a diamond in the middle. Next, a square that has rounded corners out to the right, a horizontal line that touches the left side but doesn't touch the right, then a little V and fill it in, and a little sausage that's angled in on the left. Now we're going to draw another psi on this side. Same as the right. Now two parentheses for his shoulder and two more for his bicep, and you can even do a little rounded out on the right side of the hand. Now we'll add elbow bands, wristbands. Next for his leg is these two long parentheses that get thinner at the bottom, and draw them at an angle to the bottom left hand corner of the page. Then a square angle to the bottom left corner of the page, and then two more parentheses that get skinnier at the bottom. On the left side, just keep that line going and even curve it out a little bit, and round it off, upside down U, then round it off on the right and bring it up to meet that other line. Now add this little fish hook in here for the muscle details on the thigh, a little straight line on the inside, a little curved line on the outside of the ankle. Let's put a little detail line up in here for the bicep. Next is the other leg. Draw sideways parentheses where the bottom one comes out of the bottom part of that shell. Now this trapezoid shape on its side with two lines drawn inside, then a curve that straightens, angling down left, and a straight line on the other side. Now bring the line on the left down until it's even with the foot on the left, then curve it around, flat on the bottom, tiny sideways U for the toe, then just angle it up to hit the ankle, and add another little U on the outside for a toe. And now these little ankle bracelets, and then two curved lines in here for the thigh, one more up here for the bicep. And now for the shell on the back, you're just going to add little house shapes, and then lines coming out of the top tip of those houses. And congrats! You just drew Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Someone requested that I teach how to color, so let's keep going. I'll teach you how to color. Whatever color you pick, like this green that I picked, I'm going to pick a light color so I can come back over it with dark. I'll put the link of the markers that I use in the description, but any art markers, alcohol markers, these are shuttle art, and that'll give you a wide range of colors. If you don't use markers, the same rule applies for colored pencils, crayons, pretty much anything. Start light because you can always go darker. But if you have paint markers, you can do any color on top of any other color. So that's kind of a cheat. I'll show you at the end. If you don't have a big wide range of colors, but if you at least have a gray, then you can start with a light green, and instead of using a dark green, you can just use a gray. But now that all the green's colored, I can come in with a darker green, and I'm just hitting the bottoms of every part of the green. And you really just follow the line with a parallel line of color of whatever shape you're coloring in. For this arm on the right, I'm going to bring the dark color up even further to make it look like it's kind of behind his body a little. On the thigh, I'm going to come up a little higher with my dark. And for the ankle, I'm going to do a line under the knee pad too, like the knee pad's casting a shadow. Just keep going the bottom of every part of the green, and you can even follow some of the muscle marks you made. For the size, I did a light gray and then came back with a tiny little bit of dark gray. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. For the red, I come back with a gray and just do the bottoms or the insides of all the red parts. Same thing for the shell. Start with like a light yellow ochre and then came back with like a potato brown. And for the back of the shell, started with a brown and then hit it with a darker brown. I'm gonna fill in the rest of the R. And then these are the paint markers. These are made by Just Art. I'll put the link in the description, but I'm gonna pick out a white, a light green, and then a light yellow and brown that I'm gonna use for scratches on the shell. And I'm just hitting each part of the green with the light green on the top. So you've got dark green on the bottom, the middle tone green in the middle, and the light highlight green on top. Light is usually coming from above, so usually your light color is on the top. And I just do this on the outside or top of every single green part. On the thigh on the left, I did it to highlight the muscles. Next is scratches on the shell. I just did some brown scratches and then came back with the yellow paint pen for some more scratches. And you can see the yellow just goes right over that brown. Then I just get out the white. I hit the tops of all the shapes on the shell, the mask flowing in the wind, a few dots on the sides, tops of the knee pads, tops of the ankle bracelets, tops of all the tiny little red shapes, and I'm done. Really, it's just those two sets of colors that make a drawing really pop, the dark and the light. So I hope you had fun drawing with me today. I sure enjoyed doing these. I hope you'll share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. For more fun and easy drawing tutorials for the whole family of cartoons, Transformers, monster trucks, and more, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
So bad! Who did that? Come.
I am your twin. I'm hitting the Macarena.
Oh, it's like looking in the mirror.
Twin, where have you been? Nobody loves me. Hey, Macarena.
Hey, Macarena!
Oh. Hey, Macarena.
Bye! Bye!
Can I shut that off? Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. I think I did the wrong thing.